Hello and welcome to the West Ham Transfer Rumours Show. We've got some rubbish ones, we've got some interesting ones, and we've got some interestingly rubbish ones as well. But anyway, before we get on to the rumours, we've got some news, we've got some official news, West Ham contract news regarding Michail Antonio. Every time we do a Transfer Rumours Show, there's always someone in the comments that's like, I won't believe it until it's on the official website. Well, okay, neither will I. Nobody else will either. I don't know what that accent or impression was. I'm really sorry. I think I bottled doing Cockney, actually. I think I tried to, went in my brain, said, go on, and do an impression of a Cockney. The rest of my body just went, absolutely not. You can have that mess of an accent. Anyway, I'm not drunk, I promise you, just in a really good mood today. So the official news is that Michail Antonio has signed a new contract with West Ham United, taking him up until the summer of 2024. The club have got a further 12-month option in there if they so wish to trigger it at any time, which will keep him here until the summer of 2025, obviously. Good man, Stu, well done. Well done, Gio. Right, that's enough of that. That's enough. Anyway, there's two geos to this. So there's the first side, which is, well, it's brilliant news, isn't it? Woo! Fantastic. Buzzing for Michail. I'm not really. I'm pleased for him, I guess. I'm not that buzzing for him. It's alright. My day hasn't changed since discovering the news. I've just carried on as usual. But, no, okay, enough. Time to be serious now. I don't know why. I'm just in one of those moods today. Gonzo's in this mood permanently, so you're used to it, kind of thing. Right. Game face off. Can't do it now. Right. Enough. Nah, seriously, there is really, really good news for Antonio, actually. He deserves it. I think this is the most important one. Antonio deserves this. Perhaps interestingly is, on his previous contract, the club actually had clauses in there which they could have triggered to add extensions onto Antonio's contract. But instead of doing that, they've offered him a new one so that he could have a wage increase, taking him up in line with other squad members to reflect his importance to the team, because he is important to the team. He's important to the squad, the way that we play football. Our whole attacking phase of play is built around having Michail Antonio up front. And since David Moyes has come in, so, over 2 years now, he's been our striker. And he's been fantastic as well. Scored a ridiculous amount of goals, set up a ridiculous amount of goals as well. And he is hugely important to this football team. Broke the record for the all-time Premier League goal scorer at West Ham United, which is low for a Premier League club. It shouldn't be as low as it is, but it is. He's our all-time record goal scorer. He deserves this contract extension. He's won it on merit. He's come up from Nottingham Forest. He's grafted to get to where he was at Forest, and he's grafted since. He's obviously gone on to play for Jamaica, which is probably on the other side of jail, but he's done that through his own hard work, through his own ability, and he's got there. He's not the best Premier League striker we've ever seen. I think he'll be the first one to say that. He's not even the best Premier League striker we've seen at West Ham. There's numerous better players than him that we've seen in Premier League history at West Ham. But it works. He works at West Ham. He works under David Moyes, and we work with him in the team as well. And like I said, it's deserved. I think that's the main thing here. It is deserved. The other side of me, he'll be 32 by the season. He's 31 at the minute, but his birthday is between now and then, the season, March sometime. So by the time the season comes to a close, he will be 32 years old, and which means that when his contract comes to an end, 2024, he'll be 34. It's getting to a risky point, isn't it? He's always been relatively injury prone. I think somehow we've managed his injuries quite well in the last 12 months when he's been the only striker. He's been injured a lot less than I suspected he may be. But I think we've got to err on the side of caution here and assume that, well, we can't rely on him as our only striker. We just can't do that anyway. But I think the contract has to reflect that to some extent. I think the summer of 2024 is as late as I would have liked to have been. I think if it was any further on than that, I'd been a bit wary by it. We've had our fingers burnt in the past with contracts to players. Winston Reid is the prime example. Not one I like using, because I think at the time I was relatively happy with it because we were fending off interest from other clubs and keeping Winston here. But we got our fingers burnt. We've had to pay him off in the end to leave the club. I mean, you don't want to make the same mistake with Michail, although I think there's an element of less risk in here. So there is that side of me. And the Jamaica thing has to come into play as well, because he has, he now does represent Jamaica, which adds sort of pressure onto the player, his position at the club and stuff. But good news all round for Michail, and if we can get another striker in to challenge him, if you like. And this is something that's impressed me. He's had an interview that's come out in the last couple of days, and he is saying, Michail is saying, we need another striker, we need someone to come in and challenge me. And, well, he's right, isn't he? We all know that, though. We all know that. Did you see his interview, though? In it, he said that when he arrived at West Ham, when Antonio arrived at West Ham, he went into the canteen and one player immediately started just giving him grief, essentially. I can't remember the quote. It was something like, "You're here to take my position, are you?" We all reckon it was Victor Moses, don't we? We do, don't we? Well, listen, we've all read the article, see what Antonio said, and we've all tried to work out who it was. And Victor Moses played in the same position as Antonio. And this isn't a new opinion. Luckily, I say luckily, we've got archives of video you can go back and check. I wouldn't go back and check. But in the past, I remember saying to Gonza a few times that they don't pass to each other. When Moses and Antonio were in the same team, and it was usually because Moses was like right wing and Antonio was right back under Slav, they wouldn't pass to each other. They were both like competing for the same bit of pitch, if you like. There was no real chemistry on the pitch between Moses and Antonio. It might not be Victor Moses, but that's my opinion. My guess is Antonio's referring about Victor Moses. Anyway, so there you go. Antonio signed a new contract until 2024 at the club. David Moyes has also confirmed that one or two more have signed contracts. We're waiting, aren't we? We're just waiting on news of Fabianski. It's believed that he's going to be signing a new deal. Months ago, Fabianski confirmed that talks were ongoing. Bonner, he obviously got injured, and straight away the club unofficially said, but don't worry, we'll still give him a new deal. He will be kept on beyond this season regardless of his injury. We're going to look after him. He's going to be here next season because his contract expired in the summer. And also Ben Johnson, his contract's set to expire in the summer as well. I believe the club do have an option in there which is a 2-year option which they can trigger at any time, but the expectation is they're going to just give him a completely new contract. I would assume it would be much longer than 2 years, and also much bigger wages as well. The wages he's on at the minute will be quite minimum. It'll be reflective of his position originally, which was an under-23 player, so I think he's probably in for a hefty rise, Ben Johnson. Not too stupid money, though. I'm not saying he's going to get a hefty wage, just his rise is going to be hefty. So yeah, those three players, I think we're all expecting contract announcements on them three. So Moyes has said one or two have signed a new deal as well. Take your pick, really. I think there you go. You got three players. Take your pick. Two of them have signed a new deal. So we shall wait and see further news for the club. Anyway, before we talk about the transfer rumours, I want to point you in the direction of the OneFootball app. They're kindly sponsoring this video as well as the channel for another couple of months. It's the best. It really is the best way to keep up to date with everything that's going on at your football club. Myself and Gonzo use it daily. We don't just say that, we genuinely do use it. Links in description and pinned comments. It's completely free to download. As we've told you a million times, asks you your support and stuff. Then you can click on your team badge and you see all the aggregated news for that. West Ham play Leeds on Sunday, so an hour before kickoff. You'll get a notification on your phone just telling you the lineups are announced. You click on it and it takes you to their in-depth analysis for the game ahead. It gives you a breakdown of who's playing, what position they're playing. Also, when you click on the player, it gives you a brief statistics outlook for them as well, age, appearances, so on and so forth. It really is a fantastic app. If you've not tried it, just get it downloaded today. It's completely free. Have a little look at it. See what you think. Links in description. And again, massive thank you to OneFootball, but also thanks to you guys for downloading it. So OneFootball, keep working with us. Much appreciated. So, Issa Diop. He's the main one today, isn't he? He's been linked to Newcastle for around about 8 to 10 million. Seems a really low fee. Now, I'm not a believer of coincidences too much. So, what do we know factually? We know Newcastle wants Sven Botman of Lille, which is bad news for a lot of the viewers. A lot of people that watch these videos and subscribe and comment to the channel want Sven Botman. I've heard of him, we've been linked with him previously, but I can't say I've watched Lille too much, so I can't really give you an opinion on the player per se. I know he's a left-sided centre back in that, and held in high regard. But Newcastle want him. He is their number one target for centre back position. They've already had a bid rejected, which surprised people on the French side of it because Lille are skint. They are poor. They need some money. So Newcastle want Sven Botman from Lille, the French club, and then L'Equipe Sport, the French media outlet, leak that Newcastle want French centre-back Issa Diop. Now, like I said, I'm not a big believer in coincidences, but this just seems a bit convenient, doesn't it? I think it's all a bit smoke and mirrors. I don't think Newcastle want Issa Diop. I don't really believe it. I think it's a story that's been put out there in order to make sure that Leo pick up on it, hence why it's gone out through the French media side of things there, so that just put a little bit of pressure on them. I fully expect Newcastle to sign Sven Botman, by the looks of it. We're going by what I've read. Approximately 40 million, big money, and I don't think the Diop thing's real. Would we sell him? I don't know. I don't see it. Even if it was stupid money, what is stupid money for Diop? 30 million? I think 30 million would be silly. I'm not even sure we could accept it, because then, well, what are we going to do? Yes, we can go out and sign another centre-back, but then you're still going to have to play games with only Craig Dawson as your senior centre-back. It's just not something we can do at the minute. Until we've got at least one more centre-back in, I'm not believing any rumours regarding our centre-backs moving from the club. I'm open to it. I'm open to selling Issa Diop in the right situation. And when you've got Zuma and Ogbonna out injured, this ain't it. This ain't the right situation. The Lucas Digne situation got a little bit more interesting earlier. Rafa Benitez confirming he's asked to leave Everton. It basically threw him under the bus in what I thought was a bit of a car crash from Rafa, actually, which is a bit silly. I mean, he could sit there and say anything he wanted to make Lucas Digne look bad. I think he ended up making himself look worse. He basically said that Lucas Digne's more interested in his own personal gain, insinuating that Lucas Digne cares more about his own statistics than those of Everton, the greater good of the football club. Which is a bit weird, considering Rafa used stats to sort of justify why he thought they played well against Liverpool earlier on in the season. But anyway, so it looks like Lucas Digne's confirmed to be heading out of Goodison Park. It's just a case of where's he going and how. Will Everton get the money to command in? They supposedly want 30 million. They're not too keen on a loan move. Or will he eventually go out on loan to someone? Lucas Digne has sort of appeared to have ruled out Newcastle. He doesn't want to go to Newcastle. He wants a higher calibre club. Now, unless he goes overseas, he has been linked to one or two of them. That only leaves 3 clubs really in the running for him by the looks of it. West Ham, of course. Chelsea, for obvious reasons. And Aston Villa. Aston Villa are supposedly in the market for a left back after signing Philippe Coutinho on loan earlier today. But Villa are also strongly linked with Aaron Hickey, who I would love at West Ham. I really would love to see Hickey join us. It's different. It's funny, isn't it? Because they're complete different stages of their career. You know, Lucas Digne's as experienced as you can get, really. One on his day, one of the best left backs in the Premier League. He's been around for a while now. You've got here and there. Then Hickey, who he's only just started doing it in a slightly more serious league than the Scottish Premiership, if you like. 19 years old, but I would love either at West Ham. I really would. The thing with Lucas Digne, West Ham side of things, is that there's supposedly concerns over sort of breaking the wage structure to get Lucas Digne in. Now that just doesn't add up to me, because we've just spoken about how Antonio's got a new contract, supposedly worth about 85,000 a week. Lucas Digne's on 90 at Everton, so it's hardly worlds apart. And this guy is good enough to come in and just go straight into our starting 11 at left back, even with Aaron Creswell fit. And you guys that watch the channel for more than 3 months or whatever will know I love Creswell and stuff. Even when people were suggesting selling him a couple of years ago, I was one of the ones that said, no, don't do that, keep Aaron Creswell. Anyway, now I've justified that before someone says Creswell's better than Lucas Digne. I think Lucas Digne's good enough to at least challenge Aaron Creswell for that left back spot when both are fully fit. So breaking the wage structure, I don't see it. I think that's a bit of a cop-out, actually. I don't agree with that reasoning at all. If it was just a case of we don't feel like we need Lucas Digne, then fine, I don't agree with it, but fair enough. But to use the wages as the reason doesn't really sit well with me. Anyway, one last transfer rumour today, and that's Origi. His contract's expiring at Liverpool, so he's in the final 6 months of his contract at Anfield, which means that clubs overseas can negotiate a pre-contract with him now, legally. So, and they have. There's been a few clubs that have approached Origi, offered him contracts to agree to join their club when his contract at Liverpool ends. He's not signed any yet. I think he's sort of biding his time, waiting to see what comes along in January. Now, perhaps what was interesting is the rumours the last couple of days is that the transfer fee for Origi, if you want him, could be as little as 8 million. It's not much at all, is it? I get it, his contract's running low. I'd be surprised if Liverpool sold him, because they've obviously got Mane and Salah away at African nations at the minute, so their attack's a little bit light in numbers currently. So I think they could probably do with keeping Origi around. I guess the question is, what do you need more, 8 million or Origi for a month? I actually think they could you can make a strong argument as to why they actually just need Origi, and that they can write off that 8 million and let him go for free at the end of the season. But interesting for West Ham perhaps, because he's someone been linked to in the past, and it's quite a reasonable fee. And like I said in the last couple of videos and a couple of TV Gons on that, you get the impression that we're going to get a striker in this window. It won't be a 20-30 million pound man. It'll be somebody either on loan or in that bracket, 8, 10, 15 million at the most, in that bracket somewhere. That's why I sort of found the Gabigol rumours interesting, as well as the Cabral rumours. They're in the same sort of transfer deals, aren't they? And Origi fits that too, so I wouldn't dismiss that one straight away, although I think Wolves might be our strongest contenders for that one, because Wolves wanted him in the summer. Adama Troy is on his way out to Tottenham by the looks of it. Thank God. Glad he's not coming to West Ham. But it looks like Adama Troy could be going to Tottenham with free money up for Wolves, which would then, you'd imagine they'd perhaps go after Origi, because it's not really worked out for Fabio Silva at the Molineux, has it? So they've got Jimenez up there, and after that, they're a bit light on numbers. But anyway, I shall leave it there. Hopefully you've enjoyed this West Ham, this hybrid show, isn't it? It's not quite West Ham transfer rumours, West Ham news, it's somewhere in the middle. The pink book stays the same though. That's not hybrid. It's not been turned blue or purple or anything. It's still pink. So I'm going to disappear. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe here. Catch you in a bit.